So welcome back to this module. So from this module onwards, we are going to build the prime number checker application. So let me first show you the final version of the application. So this will be the project that we will build in this particular module. So you can see we have this nice pinkish background, and then we have this card-like structure, and then we have these three elements. So if I enter here any number, like if I enter here a 5, so this particular number is actually divisible by itself. It is not divisible by any other number. So that means it is actually a prime number. So if I click on check button, then you can see 5 is the prime number, and this is actually the result message that is actually achieved by using the paragraph element, and the color of this particular paragraph element is actually set it to green. So if I enter here a like 7, and now if I click on check, then still 7 is actually a prime number. But if I enter here a 6 and try to check it, then you can say 6 is not a prime number, and also the color is actually changes to red. So this is how the logic of this particular application is actually working. So we have actually connected a simple prime number checker program to the UI elements of the JavaScript. Okay, so from the next lecture onwards, we're going to start with the HTML part of the project. Okay, so from now this lecture onwards, we're going to start with the HTML part of the project, which is the prime number checker application. So you can see I have already created the required files inside the Visual Studio Code for the saving of the time. So I have created the index.html, style.css, and then script.js file. And these two files are linked with the index.html with their respective tag. Like with the use of the link tag, I have linked my style.css file, and with the use of the script tag, I have linked my script.js file. And I have also launched the final version of the application that we actually want to build, like this particular one, so that we can get the reference what we want to build, and this will be the project that we're going to build in this particular module. So you can see this application is actually running on this particular URL, which is the live server extension. So if I actually do anything, like if I change anything, it's going to be immediately reflected back to the browser when I press the Ctrl S. Okay, and now the first thing is we need to actually create a one container in which we're going to display this card like thing, like this particular card like structure, so that we can actually update the CSS, and then we need to place all the other 4 elements. So coming back to the index.html here, and also I'm going to switch back to the our version of the application that we want to build in this module. So here I'm going to actually create a container. So I will be using the emit abbreviation of the Visual Studio Code, and if I press the tab key, then you can see I get a division tag with the class name container. Now inside this particular division tag, I need to place all the other HTML elements. The first one is actually going to be the h1 element, which is actually the heading element. Inside this one, I'm going to specify the heading, which is going to be like prime number checker. All right, and after that I need to place the second element, which is going to be the input type, in which we are going to enter the number. So I want to actually deal with the number, so here I'm going to specify the input type to actually number, and then I need to specify the ID, which is going to be number input. And after that I will be here specifying the placeholder. So placeholder is actually the hint to the input type that actually I want to indicate the user. Right now, if I actually coming back to the final version of the application, if I refresh it, then you can see user actually in getting some information here that he or she needs to be enter the number here. So this is actually done by using the placeholder attribute. So here I will be entering like placeholder text, which is the enter a number. So this is how our input type specified. After that, I need to place the another element, which is going to be the button. So on click of the button, I want to perform the calculation. So here I'm going to specify the ID, and then I need to specify the ID to this particular button, which is going to be like check button. And after that, I want to specify the text that I want to display on the button. So it is like here check. If I control save it, then you can see now finally I get all the 3 elements. The first one is the heading, which is the prime number checker. The second is the input type, and the third is actually the button. After that, for displaying the result, I need to specify here a paragraph element. So paragraph element, and then I need to specify the ID, which is going to be like result message. All right. And then I don't need to specify anything to this particular result element, means the text inside this particular tag, because the value of this particular paragraph element will be displayed on the basis of these input type values. Okay, so that marks the completion of the HTML part for this particular project, which is the prime number checker application. So in the next lecture, we're going to start with the CSS part of the project.